alcohol test, then the machine will be able to tell who drank palm wine and who drank Kinju.
Why do you think the president's speech was so short? What do you think so?
It was short because he don't have the ability to step along.
Wow. Stop a palm wine in this country?
Palm wine is alcohol.
Okay.
So when we do the alcohol test, then the machine will be able to tell who drank palm wine and who drank Kinju.
Why do you think the president's speech was so short? What do you think so?
It was short because he don't have the ability to step along.
Wow.
In a venue, I want to do on the broad street.
How important is your call for palm wine test?
Because sometimes when people drink palm wine, they get drunk. You see people drink palm wine, they get drunk. And when you get drunk, you misbehave, right? So it shouldn't be limited to drugs. Some of us take a palm wine and get drunk and misbehave.
What do you think?
She stop drinking palm wine on a
I'm
recording?
not saying that she stop. The president called for tests. I'm only trying to portray the president to say you're not palm wine to eat. I didn't say people will not drink. I'm trying to portray the president call.
You are suspecting the president of drinking palm wine.
My man.
You don't want to be exact. You are suspecting.
The result will prove who drinking palm wine and who taking drugs.
Is there any test of a palm wine? Do we have tests of a palm wine in this country?
Palm wine is alcohol.
Okay.
So when we do the alcohol test, then the machine will be able to tell who drank palm wine and who drank Kinju.
Why do you think the president's speech was so short? What do you think so?
It was short because he don't have the ability to step along.
Wow.
In a venue, I want to do on the broad street.
How important is your call for palm wine test?
Because sometimes when people drink palm wine, they get drunk. You see people drink palm wine, they get drunk. And when you get drunk, you misbehave, right? So it shouldn't be limited to drugs. Some of us take a palm wine and get drunk and misbehave.
What do you think?
She stop drinking palm wine on a
I'm
recording?
not saying that she stop. The president called for tests. I'm only trying to portray the president to say you're not palm wine to eat. I didn't say people will not drink.
You must stand up and speak the truth. Because for you to use the fact that prior to printing, it means you already tell me print. But before you print, come up to me. There is nothing in our paragraph that indicated that money should be printed.
The essence of this exercise, the essence of this exercise is to know the facts. Everybody will have the opportunity to ask questions if you so desire.
On the 30th day of the month of January, the year remains 2024. Liberia is certainly experiencing a lot of political issues in the country. Too many things happening in the country. On yesterday, the Liberian people had the chance to listen to Mr. Joe Boakai when he delivered the State of the Nation address of Capitol Hill in the joint chambers of the Liberian Capitol building. What is it? What did he say? What is it from the angle of Mr. Boakai? What did Mr. Joe Boakai say? Those are issues we intend to talk about today on this edition of the program Freedom Hub on 87.9. My name is Kine Oliver Kine, right here on the People Station. Too many things happening in the country. A lot of issues going on. Yesterday's Sona was very interesting. There were too many heartbreaks. There were too many sadness around the place. Some folks were excited. generally, we say there were mixed reactions to the president's State of the Nation address. There are too many things to talk about, too many issues to look into. And so we're going to be running into those issues relative to the affairs of the Liberian nation. We'll take a break. When we come back, we hear from our sponsor, Crime Stoppers Liberia. And we're going to subsequently rumble into the rest of the issues right here on the People Station. Though we are not feeling that well, but we are grateful that we are back and actively running in continuation of what we know how to do best right here on the People Station. If you're there in Siklepa, if you're there in Kiev, those of our people in Samanima, the people in Blambo Town, Fonde community, those in Blowing, all of our people in Necklace Town, those of you in Panwin, Lord Johnsonville, if you're there in Swansea City, all of you in Cowell, New Georgia, Chiachipo Road, those of you in Kakibo, Sino County, if you're there in Wahoro, Maryland County, those of you in Wasonga, Lofa County, B. Lodu in Nimba County, those in Tototabon County, wherever you are, if you're in compound number 1, compound number 2, Lac, there in Grand Bassa County, welcome to Freedom Hub at about this moment in the nation's capital. Remember, whatever we go through as a people and country, there is one thing that should be at the back of your mind. Liberia will never burn. I repeat, Liberia will never burn. Let's take a break. So be right back.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. Let it not take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, I mean you check. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. I'm a part of report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, just stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, just stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self, Omen Sam Saya.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, just stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, just stopping crime for all of us.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9, the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Kai. I'm here today on this wonderful edition of the show. We want to say good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of you following the conversation. Wherever you are, however you're listening, it is a wonderful day in Monrovia. I hope it is a wonderful day from where you join us from around the globe. It is 90 minutes. It is 90 minutes past 4 o'clock in Monrovia. I'm trying to get this. Okay, so I think we have it now. I think we have it now. I'm trying to get this remote controller. Something is misbehaving. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. So on yesterday, the Liberian people were focused. On yesterday, the Liberian people pay attention mostly to the radio in anticipation of what Mr. Bouaka will say to them. The State of the Nation address is a constitutional requirement by the head of the country, the head of state, to address the Liberian people on the third working Monday of every January, and that applies to every year. It is a constitutional obligation that is to be performed by the head of the country. Yesterday, witnessed the first State of the Nation address of the Bouaka's administration. So Mr. Bouaka addressed the Liberian people on yesterday, and he captured too many things. But for the purpose of today's conversation, we're going to be looking at key areas that were touched. And then we will make our analysis relative to what we believe is the situation, relative to what we believe should be done for the common good of the Republic. On yesterday, Mr. Bouaka had a few things that he highlighted. First and foremost, Mr. Bouaka disclosed that as opposed to the $40 million in the consolidated account of the Liberian government, Mr. Bouaka told the Liberian people yesterday that what was left in the government's consolidated account is not $40 million as was reported by President Weah, former President Weah. Instead, he disclosed that it was less, and I repeat, it was less than $40 million. Front Page Africa did a great article on that story. And I'm going to go to the Front Page Africa newspaper for the continuation of what is here. So on yesterday, Mr. Bouaka told the Liberian people that the 40 million former President Weah said they left with the Liberian government is not 40 million. It is less than that. And so following the disclosure by Mr. Bouaka, Liberians started to get concerned as to who is saying the truth. President Weah, before leaving power, former President Weah, before leaving power, informed the Liberian people that his government was leaving $40+ million into the consolidated account of the Liberian government. On yesterday, Mr. Bouaka said, "It's not true." So the Liberian media decided to do an investigation into the situation. Beyond the Liberian media, scores of Liberians who are concerned about the status, the financial status of the country, thought to take a deep dive into researching the facts. Amongst the many Liberian organizations, institutions, and individuals who have done their own personal investigation, we've selected an opinion that was done, or better still, a report that was done by Front Page Africa. Now, let me read verbatim what Front Page Africa wrote about the situation. Let's run over. This is what President Weah said. Fellow compatriots, rumors and misinformation have played a large part in our political era over the last 6 years. It is my hope we as a country will overcome this challenge over the next 6 years. To begin this, we must start with the facts of the transition. I must report to you that we are leaving behind a better economy than we inherited. This is former President we are speaking of. Tomorrow, President-elect Joseph Boakai will inherit a stronger economy than I, George Weah, inherited. There is a bigger net international reserve position than was handed me in 2018. What I am leaving in the National Reserve is bigger than what they gave me in 2018. I inherited about 94,999,000 United States dollars in the net international reserve. I am handing over to the next administration of Mr. Joe Boakai a net international reserve position of 222,700,000 United States dollars. So former President Weah said he met 94,999,000 in their account, the foreign reserve of Liberia. 94 million, that's why he met there in 2018. Now, when he was leaving last month, he said he is turning over 222,700,000 United States dollars to the Boakai's administration. This is a 136% increase in net international reserve position. The total cash balance in government's consolidated account is US $44,365. So apart from what was in the reserve, former President Weah disclosed that he left in the consolidated accounts of the country $44,365 and 99 cents. 90 cents, I beg your pardon. $44,395.90 in the consolidated account. In 2018, my government inherited a consolidated cash position of about 7 million United States dollars. So former President Weah said he turned over $44,365.90 to the Boakai's administration, but he was able to receive in 2018 less than 7 million United States dollars in cash. The next administration has more resources to deal with, in when you say macroeconomic challenges than my administration had at its disposal in 2018. This is what the president said. The former president, President Weah, this is what he said. But in his annual message, President Bouaka stated that his predecessor assertion of leaving $45 million to jumpstart his government was nothing but a hoax. This is what Mr. Bouaka said on yesterday. The net international reserve position reported at the end of December 2023 was $220 million US dollars. The report of $40 million as the government of Liberia consolidated account balance as at January 19, 2024 is not supported by facts. The balance reported by the Central Bank of Liberia as of the same date was US $20,500,000. Highly encumbered, not US $40 million. To this end, we re-emphasize our earlier commitment to audit and ensure that regular audits will be a culture across all branches of government, not only the executive. So I read you two positions: the position of former President Weah and the position of the current president. What the CBL report indicates: FrontPage Africa has obtained a copy of the government of Liberia consolidated cash balances for fiscal year 2023 and 2024 as of January 17, 2024. The balances show that the total for fiscal year 2023 and 2024 in US dollars is $28,270,302.87. In USD, the USD component of what is in the consolidated, according to what FrontPage Africa discovered, is at $28,270,302.87. Why the total balance in the Liberian dollar consolidated account is at LD $2,237,071,975.08. Therefore, the equivalent of the Liberian dollar component in US dollars at the exchange rate of 190 is US $11,774,063.03. The sum of the US dollar balance and the equivalent of the Liberian dollar amounts to US $40,044,365.90. FrontPage Africa has observed that not only did President Bouaka understate the balance in the US dollar component of the consolidated account, he also completely omitted the Liberian dollar component of the consolidated account. This story was written by Leonard Dudu. And so, you know, he's the senior editor of FrontPage Africa. So after Mr. Bouaka and Mr. Weah got through explaining their own portion, former President Weah said, I left $40,044,000 plus in the consolidated account. Now, on yesterday, the Liberian leader said, what was left in the account is not what former President Weah said left in the account is not exactly what is in the account. So an investigation that was conducted by FrontPage Africa at the CBL disclosed that the folks who wrote the speech for Mr. Bouaka on yesterday did not take into consideration the LD component of the consolidated account. Each account in the country, you know, most of our government, you got the USD and the Liberian dollars. So when FrontPage Africa did her investigation, when they took the LD component of the consolidated account and added it to the $28+ million in US dollars in the consolidated account, and you put it together, you will have the $40,044,000 plus dollars that was declared by former President Weah. So in summary, Front Page Africa reported that Front Page Africa observed that not only did President Bouaká understate meaning he didn't talk the real one where he met there. It's like you go in the room, you saw 10 cup of rice, you can't say I want to see 2 cup of rice there. That is what Front Page Africa is summarizing here. Now, Front Page Africa is saying that not only did President Bouaká understate the balance in the US dollar component of the consolidated account, he also completely omitted the Liberian dollar component of the consolidated account. Now, what is the simple analogy here? The way we say it in simple English so you understand it, like your pa going in the interior. The papa going in the interior. So the papa say, okay, I'm leaving 10 cup of rice in the house. But the 10 cup of rice, what the papa leaving in the house, the papa pour 6 cup in the pivot barrel. How many cup balance? 4 cups. Now the balance 4 cups, the balance for you to make it 10 cups, he put the 4 cups in the heater and tie. You know, in the interior, we're coming up, the old man can put rest in the lapas and then they put it in the heater and the tie. So the papa put 6 cups in the pivot barrel and 4 cups in the hair tie. So he said, I'm leaving 10 cups here. I'm going in the booth. Now somebody went in the restroom to go and check in the room where they got the rice to go and check. And the person when they saw the one in the pivot barrel and said, no, the thing our pa say, let 10 bag here, not 10 bag. That only says bag here because that only says bag you saw in the barrel and you did not take into consideration the 4 cups that was wrapped up in the hair tie. In this situation, out of the 40 million plus US dollars that the former president left in the consolidated account of the Liberian government, you had 28 plus million of that amount in US dollars, and you had the rest of it in Liberian dollars. Now, when you do the calculation of what was reported in Liberian dollars, and you change it to the US dollars at the rate of 190, you will have a joint total of $40 million, making former President Weah to be on track with what he declared. So the fact that you went in the room and you only saw the 6 cup in the pivot barrel and you did not see the one that was wrapped in the hair tie does not suggest that the papa did not leave 10 cups back. He left 10 cups back. Apparently, you saw the one in the hair tie where he said, so long rice can be in the pivot barrel, that only in the pivot barrel I'm going to look forward to. Now, so Front Page Africa has gathered that Mr. Bouaká on yesterday under-declared. It may be out of error. Apparently, those who furnished Mr. Bouaká with the information didn't do due diligence, or better still, they did the due diligence, but somebody somewhere want to do crooked attitude, and so they just made the puppet to go and read that thing in such a way that it will create the environment for people to go and do stealing. And I take it back to the analogy. Now, the puppet said, I'm leaving 10 cups of rice in the house. He put 6 cups in the pivot drum and put the banner 4 cups in here or he put it in bucket. Now you send a big child that will go and check. Oh, our pa who go, people will go check in the room and see how many cups for true the baby left here. The people went, you saw the 4 cups in the bucket and you saw the 6 cups in the pivot drum. Apparently the son too want to do crooked GT. Maybe he want eat the 4 cup quietly. Or you want to start giving the 4 cup to different people. So he come by and say, oh, baby, that thing why our pa say it's not true. That only 6 cup here. Yeah, so I only 6 cup in here. Apparently, because the 4 cups there, you want to personally decide what to do with the 4 cups. But the good thing is, when Front Page Africa went to the Central Bank of Liberia to do the investigation, Central Bank said, oh no, it's not true. That 10 cups the people left here. But the 10 cups what they left here, 6 cups in the pivot drum. And you got 4 cups in the bucket. The 4 cups in the bucket, when you add it to the 6 cups in the pivot drum, it will give you 10 cups. So the thing what the man said that 10 cups already in left here, that's true. That's what Front Page Africa gathered. So apparently those who may have written the speech of Mr. Bouaká went to the CBR and only inquire about the Liberian dollar component, the US dollar component of the consolidated account. Apparently, they were only concerned about the US dollars component of the consolidated account and disregarding what was in the consolidated account as a Liberian dollar component. So yes, at that level, they were only able to get less than 40 million. According to them, according to Mr. Bwaka yesterday, it was somewhere around 25 million. No, not 25. So from the Africa say, not only did Mr. Bwaka understate what was reported, he also totally, completely disregarded the LD component. And for some financial people, for some auditors, that is a red flag. That is a trade. It can trigger serious investigation, because how will you go and say, oh, the how you call this thing? That 25 million, not 28. No. The USD component was 28 million. So when you are coming to report to the Liberian people that it is 25 million, then we are asking you, Mr. Bwaka, Mr. Head of State, to go back to your people and keep an eye on them. Somebody want to put you in trouble with money. I'm being clear on this situation. Somebody want to put Mr. Bwaka in problem with the Liberian people money. Front Page Africa has done their report. Now, the good thing is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Speaker Fonatikova, and that of Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn, the both houses today had deliberations over the matter. What I gather is that the House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate reached a decision to separately invite the Central Bank of Liberia to provide a clarity to the matter. We have in our possession the paper, the summary statement of the consolidated account of the Liberian government. We have in our possession that summary statement. So in few days' time, I'm told on the 1st of February, the Central Bank of Liberia will be appearing before the House of Representatives to give a complete statement on how much was left into our consolidated account. The good thing is we are grateful as a country and people that former President Weah was able to leave a good portion of the Liberian people money for the Unity Party government and Mr. Bwaka to take over. This will help the government settle most of the domestic debts, settle most of the other governmental obligations, so that we keep our country moving forward. When the CBR is done updating the Liberian legislature, when the CBR is done updating the Liberian legislature, I will want that disclosure to be made public. Beyond being made public, we will want to call on Mr. Bwaka to conduct an investigation, beginning with those who wrote his speech. Because you know why? Sometimes the leader is innocent. And I want to be very clear on it. Sometimes the leader is just not aware of what is being done behind the scene. Oh, they may already gone to left. They already gone to left, so you know what I would do? Since the USD component is just 28 million, then the LD component is in 2 billion, so million and the other thousands, and we put it together, make 40 million. Let's just declare the US dollar side. Oh yeah, anything is possible. Apparently, people made that declaration. People just thought, you know what? Let's just put it and tell the Barbados to go to do it. And so when the CBR is done providing the clarity to the situation and the facts are glaring, Mr. Bwaka should conduct an audit. Mr. Bwaka should check the books of the CBL, and whatever, a statement, so that those who gave him that information, if they were involved or if they were trying to plan some kind of thing that will see over $11 million going into their personal dues, so that he can be able to arrest them sooner that how people government can sport. Mr. Bwaka should not allow them to put him in the space of being defensive. You made the man to go to the Liberian Senate, the Liberian House of Representatives, the Liberian people on yesterday and made that declaration. Only for further investigation to reveal that you did not take into consideration the LD component of the consolidated account. You don't do that to a new president. You're trying to make the puppet to start to fail sooner. Because when a statement has been issued by the president of the country, that statement is assumed to have gone through all of the due diligence, all of the fact findings. And once it is out, it should be 99.999% void of error. That's why in Liberia, we normally say the statement of the president is a policy. For that statement to come outside, it has to be thoroughly done. It has to be thoroughly thought of with all of the T's crossed and the I's dotted. That's the issue on the consolidated account. So as we speak, pending how you call this thing, pending the appearance of the central bank at the legislature, we are clear with this issue based on the report that the investigation we've done, based on the investigative report that was done by Front Page Africa, in which they have the document. We have the documents all over. The documents are available. It is clear that the 40.44 million that was left into the consolidated account is there. It's just that the folks did not capture the LD component. That's just as simple as what it is. So when you put the LD portion of A into US and you add it to the $28 million, you get yourself a whole $40 million. That's how you're going to get $40 million for the 4,000 plus. So I think we are done with it. One thing that I suspect, I may be wrong on it, but one thing that I suspect is that there are people who want to ride on the new president to say, okay, you know what? You know, we're the ones in charge now. Let's just declare it 28 million. Liberian people are not smart. Liberian people fully, they will not take, they will not listen good. They will not process the information correctly. They will just start to believe, whatever the case. And by the time they finish, we can go behind the scene and start operating. I know how things have been done in this country for a very long time. And so it will be an opportunity for Mr. Bwaka to start to know those who are truly, truly up for setting the country up. It will help him. If he is to succeed as a successful president in this country, this will be the beginning of ensuring that the right thing is done. When the CBI is done disclosing this information officially, we anticipate that Mr. Bwaka will take administrative actions against anyone who will be capable of trying to hide the facts. Anyone who will be capable of trying to hide the facts. I left 10 bags of rice to the horse. I put 6 bags in the wheelbarrow. I put 4 bags under the bed. But I left it in one room. In the same room, I played the wheelbarrow. In the same room, I played the bed. So 4 bags on the bed, 6 bags in the wheelbarrow. You go in the room, you saw the one in the wheelbarrow. You saw the one on the bed. You came outside, you only say you see 6 bags on the wheelbarrow. What happens to the one on the bed, the 4 bags? Why you did not add it? Because you went in the room to count money. I mean, yeah, to count rice, though. You went to check the bag of rice in the room. So when you see 6 bags on the tire, you see 4 bags on the floor mat. You went to check bag of rice. Check everything. Why not 4 bags on the floor? 6 bags on the bill. Your job is to check the amount of the quantity of rice in the room, whether that 10 bags or the 15 bags. But you went, you say, I want to see 6 bags on the bed. The other 4 bags were on the room. I'm not checking it. No. That's not how it is done. Go there. You say, okay. You said that 10 bags were in the room. Yeah, I went there, but I saw 4 bags on the floor and I saw 6 bags on the table. Now, the person will be able to say, okay, yeah, that's true, because the table can contain 10 bags. So we divided it. We put 4 on the ground, then we put 6 on the table. That's how it's looking. But when we put all together, that's 10. So somebody went in the room and just checked 6 and came out and told me the bag. I said, oh, I only 6 there. Apparently, they did that so that when the man accepts that I only 6, then quietly they'll go in the room and tell the other 4 to go share it or to go eat it, to go cook it. This country, will not spoil on our watch. The media is here to help. The media will be here to checkmate the system. The media will be here to suspect fraud. And when we do the suspicion of frauds and whatever the case is, we will not be, will not be shot. We will say it just as the way it is. So that's number one. I don't know where Cruiser is. I need an assistance here. Okay. Now on the second portion. So we are done with this consolidated account situation. On the second part of it, the speech yesterday was a thing of excitement for some people. Some people were excited. Other people didn't get happy with what they heard. What do I know? What am I going to say? How do I view what transpired on yesterday? The first thing is, want to commend the legislature, specifically the committees on executive, for the way they organized the program. The place was not overcrowded. The heat was not, you never had heat there to that letter, although people were fanning themselves, but at least the ventilation was okay. And there were orders, people could go about in an orderly manner, so it was wonderful. The speech writers also did a very good job by not making the speech overly boring. Now, I don't want to agree with people who said they did it because, the Pape National. No, I don't want to buy into that. For me, that's not me. I'm not going to buy into it. I think 44 minutes was good enough to have communicated the state of the affairs of the country, because what Mr. Bwaka was reporting on yesterday are things that he did not preside over as president. So he couldn't have said more than what he said yesterday. What I am disappointed in is the fact that Liberians across the country and the war over were eagerly listening to the radio, watching television, in anticipation of hearing exactly what brought Mr. Bwaka to power. They wanted to hear from Mr. Bwaka what he's going to do in the first year of his administration in tackling some of the issues that the Liberian people felt the Weah's administration didn't do good. No, let me rephrase. I'm going to rephrase. I'm going to rephrase, right? The Liberian people who voted Mr. Bwaka and the Unity Party, on yesterday, a good portion of them, they will not say it because the government is still new, is still young. And so some of them are lobbying behind the scene, they want jobs, so they will not express this anger. For us, we're in a better position to say it because we do not care. What we care for is to hold government accountable to the people, to ensure that government will do exactly what they said they would do. Now, all of us in this country are aware that the election that saw Mr. Bwaka becoming president of the country was characterized by two meaning political lines. One of the lines that made headlines under the Weah's administration consistently is the line that has to do with the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. War Crimes Court. Everybody in the country, War Crime Court, War Crime Court. There were over 37 different protests done in Liberia under the Weah's administration. Most of those protest actions took place in Monrovia, with the rest of it spreading all across the country. Martin K. and Colley, what is his name? Oh man, Emmanuel Savis, my brother Fubi Henrys. And you can name the rest of it: Emmanuel Gonkwe, Henry Pedro Costa, Yeke Koluba. The rest of, a good portion of the current ruling establishment staged series of protest actions in demand of the establishment of war crimes court in this country. Liberians in this country under the Weah's administration felt that President Weah by the time was protecting those who were quote unquote, allegedly culpable of some of the crimes committed against humanity in this country during our war days. In fact, they saw the political alignment between President Weah by the time and Senator Prince Yomi Johnson as the singular reason why former President Weah was unable to establish the War Crimes Court. For them, it didn't matter to them as to whether Liberia had gone through the Truth and Reconciliation process, whether there was a recommendation that suggested that the Palawa Hut method of reconciliation should be adopted by Liberians. For them, they did not care. All they cared about is that they needed George Weah as the head of the country to have implemented that identical, situation to have the War Crimes Court established. So since Weah did not do it, since President Weah was not in the position to have it executed, there were a series of protest actions in this country conducted. Emmanuel Savis is one of the lead campaigners of that. Emmanuel Gonkwe, the head of the EFFL, is also one of those involved. I can go on naming the rest of the people who tormented the Weah's administration for the establishment of the War Crimes Court. Now, bulk of those who are supporters of the Joe Boyka's administration, those who helped to bring the administration to power, all by themselves during the heat of the campaign, made it their duty to repeatedly, from a consistent perspective, to keep advocating for the establishment of the very court. This very court. Now, the president of the country was given the chance to speak to the Liberian people through their direct representation. Do you know why the president of the country, by protocol, is allowed to stand from start to the end of his address? It's because by then, Article 1 of the Constitution is being invoked. When you read Article 1, it will say to you, all power is inherent in the people. Article 1. Now, the people will go to election and elect for themselves their representatives and their senators who will speak on their behalf. So in the joint chambers of the legislature, those senators and representatives you saw there are the direct representation of the vast majority, or better still, the entire population of the Republic of Liberia. That's why, from a protocol perspective, the head of the country, the CIC, is supposed to stand from start to end because he's making report to the country, to the people who are the custodian of the power. Now, the man went to the legislature on yesterday and provided what he will do for the country beginning year 1. Interestingly, fellow Liberians, he didn't mention anything about the War Crimes Court. No, these are things that the people felt Weah was not doing. No, they said Weah is encouraging hooliganism. He's encouraging people who fought war to be moving around freely. Weah is now he's not honest in breaking justice to those who were victimized as a result of the civil conflict in our country. Good. To their credit, it sold out to the Liberian people and they voted Weah out. Now, you came as a replacement of a man who they said was unwilling to do what they wanted him to do in reference to the establishment of the War Crimes Court. Now, you are given the chance to speak to the very Liberian people for the first time in the discharge of your presidential duty, and you did not mention a single word about the War Crimes Court. A single word. You didn't mention a single word about the War Crimes Court. For some of your supporters, a good portion of them, they were disappointed. Mr. Bwaka, I'm hoping that it wasn't deliberate. I'm hoping apparently it was an error on the part of your speech writers, because you know why? One of the reasons why you were supported to the letter by half of the voting population of this country is because part of them saw you as that leader who will implement what they desire in having the War Crimes Court, irrespective of who is in your political closet. Representative Yaka Kolba said, apparently you did not mention it to the legislature so that it won't form part of your legislative agenda because you want to keep friendship with Mr. Prince Johnson. I don't want to buy into what Yaka is saying. But I also don't want to believe it because your very self, Mr. Bwaka, you are on record of joining protest action in this country where War Crime Court establishment form part of those issues that should have been addressed. The June 7 protest that you endorsed, Mr. Bwaka, the June 7 protest that you endorsed had within it as a petition line the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court. So it is beating our imagination that as the president of the country, on your first State of the Nation address, you are unable to say, we say set it up, we say fund committee, but to even say a word, to even mention it, the fact that you didn't mention it, that's a disappointment for a lot of the Liberian people who saw you as the beacon of hope for them in seeking justice to those who, in their opinion, perpetrated the worst crimes against humanity during the course of our Liberian Civil War. For them, you failed them on it. I hope it wasn't deliberate so that you will have the time to recalibrate and meet up with their expectation. For them, this is an expectation that they are unwilling, they are not willing to manage. For them, they can't manage this other expectation. That's number one. Number two, let's go to remind Mr. Bwaka and his folks within the Unity Party. I want us to go there. Take your time. We're about to go there. Just hold on, fellow Liberians. Hold on, fellow Liberians. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, God. Hold on. Okay, I think I have it. So War Crime Court was a total disappointment to all of us, especially bulk of the people who supported you, who made you president. Now, this is the second disappointment, and I want you to listen to it because this is campaign time.
We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We have another vote. No medication in the house. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We have another vote. No medication in the hospital. We have another vote. No new employment. We have another vote. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. No new employment. We have a vote. You get up on a person. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We have another vote. No medication in the hospital. We have another vote. No new employment. We have another vote. You get up on a person. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We have another vote. No medication in the hospital. We have another vote. No new employment. We have another vote. You get up on a person. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We get up on a person. We get you 0%. We have another vote. No medication in the hospital. We have another vote. No new employment. We have another vote. You get up on a person. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We have another vote. No medication in the hospital. We have another vote. No new employment. We have another vote. You get up on a person. We get you 0%.
Okay. Now, Mr. President, Mr. Bwaka, these are Liberians who were chanting during the campaign days. For them, they didn't care about whether George Weah was building the road from Banga to Salaye, Lofa County, and onwards towards Vonjima. They didn't care about it. For these Liberians, they didn't care whether it was George Weah who was taking the road from Ganta Sete, Nima County to Sanikwele and up to the Lokatuo border. For them, it didn't matter. For these Liberian civil servants, it didn't matter to them whether it was George Weah who was taking the road from Ganta to Sakopia or upwards to Tabeta. For them, it didn't matter. No, it didn't matter to them whether it was George Weah who was building all of the recreational facilities from the Invisible to the PHP to the West Point to the Claraton to the Nicrotown and the rest of the. It didn't matter to them. For them, they didn't care to know whether it was the Weah's administration that was doing the pro-poor housing unit, whether they were the ones securing the extra $300 million to do a new hydro for the government and people of Liberia. For them, they didn't care to know whether it was this government that was paying wire fees. It was this government that was paying giving tuition and ensuring that there will be free tuition at all of the public universities in this country. For them, what mattered to them at that time during the course of the campaign was for their salary to go back to the pre-harmonization status. For them, your political party made them to believe that George Weah was a terrible man. Weah was a wicked individual. Your party made them to understand that the Weah's government suffocated them for unjustifiable reasons. Mr. Bwaka, your politicians, your political partisans made these civil servants in this country to believe that George Weah had the ability to take their salary up, but refused to do it unjustifiably. To make matters worse, some of your educated partisans, people who are knowledgeable in financial matters, joined the rest of the population in believing that unfounded financial, opinion that harmonization was unnecessary. It was a devastating decision. It was diabolical. It was inappropriate and so forth. They went at all levels. There were civil servants who could stay in the faces of their ministers in this country and say, we're not supporting your government because you cut our pay. Oh, yes, George, we are paid for it. We are got voted out because the civil service, sector, the civil servants in this country saw George Weah as a man who spoiled their salary, who brought their salary down. The George Weah technical team, his economic financial team said the conditions that existed in this country under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf are no longer the conditions that we inherited. Under President Sirleaf, Ome used to be here. Ome used to be helping with all of our national developmental priorities. For example, Ome used to buy the fuel oil in the police car. Ome used to help get police people uniform. Ome used to be, giving judges and other people money in the courts. Ome used to be sponsoring almost all of our activities. Since Ome left 2018, we are now having our own country all by ourselves to handle and run. We no longer have the support. So we can continue to pay salary on the same way it used to be the time Ome was here. Let us do harmonization so that instead of sending people home, people will still be working, but the pay will be reduced so that they can go home forever. So that other people will not lose their job because we want to maintain a particular people making huge salary. Those were the financial austerity measures taken by the former president. Mr. Bouaka, your partisans, your supporters, including you, your very self, told the Liberian people that that decision to have harmonized their pay was unjustifiable. You told them that it was an inappropriate decision that was taken. It was unjustifiable, and it will end. Had the Unity Party come to power, that whole situation will be over. On the basis of this, there are people who had no personal problem with George Weah that voted against him. There are people who had no personal problem with the CDC as a political institution that voted against George Weah. And George Weah is history right now. He's former president. Somebody told me he go West End, some playing football in Juventus, Italy. Yeah, I mean private life. I ain't going to enjoy it. Like Bennett, he didn't want to be president. Come on, I remember main president. He's done. He's no longer on the political pedestal. But these are things that brought you to the presidency. These are desirous and anticipation that Liberians have been harboring. These are things that made Liberians to be blind to some of the things Joshua was doing better, because in the country, when you tamper with the Liberian source of income, once the Liberian man got more money to keep buying his beer and having a regular Friday, Saturday chilling, the Liberian man, I don't care, you can put quota on the road or put glass on the road, he doesn't see it as anything because you have crippled his social organization. You've crippled his social well-being. Once the man want to buy a blended beer and full of table because he has to manage salary and his personal things, this and that, the man feels threatened. These Liberian people saw you as the beacon of hope to resolving the issues that confronted their salaries, the issues that had to do with harmonization. They saw you as a beacon of hope. They made you president. They made you president of the country. Your first State of the Nation address, you did not mention anything about salary harmonization. Amen. Amen. I mean, these are people to the extent where nurses who are supposed to be in the hospital treating patients. Nurses. These are nurses who are supposed to be treating sick people. Nurses got on the road in United Party t-shirts, JMB, JKK t-shirts, and they were chanting slogans. You harmonize our salary, we harmonize our vote.
No medication in the hospital. No new employment. You get 100%. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We have vote. No medication in the hospital. We have vote. No new employment. We have vote. You get 100%. We get you 0%.
I mean, nurses left the hospital and came out. Because for them, they didn't care about whatever developmental projects Georgia was executing. For them, they felt that it was nonsense. All they needed was their salary to be taken back to the pre-harmonization status. And that's why almost every ministry and public corporation and state-owned enterprise and different governmental entities in this country you went to during the elections, you will find it difficult as a pro-George Weah supporter, because there was this resentment that was built within the people. There was this whole hatred that was instilled in the hearts of the people against the former administration because of this harmonization situation. Yes. What did they do? They punished George Weah for it. Oh yes, they flogged George Weah for it. George Weah was beaten in the elections. Beaten. They used 10-pound hammer from Nima County to beat George Weah, to flog him out of the elections. They made you president because your partisans told them that we had no justifiable reasons to cut their pay. No. They didn't say, oh, okay, although we're in UP, but Joe, we didn't do it for that reason. No. They didn't say it. They said we are inappropriately, unjustifiably, maliciously, criminally, and without conscience decided to suppress the living standards, to suppress the purchasing power of the Liberian working class. That's what they told the people in the trenches. That's what they made the people to understand during the course of the election. And that's why, in the midst of all of the different financial opinions, the different financial citations, Liberians could not still understand as they were being blinded by your political doctrine. The doctrine of unfair harmonization, the doctrine of inappropriate salary cuts. Today, those same people are in their hospitals. They are in shock. Mr. Baga, let me tell you, the bulk of your supporters, they will not say, because some of them are anticipating to be appointed, so they will not express their anger at the moment, but they are concerned. They feel that they were misled. That's how they are feeling. They will not say, because some of them think the appointment still on, the thing they will still get jobs, so they will not come out to express themselves openly. Even some of them right on the live video, they know what we are saying is the truth, but they will not come out to say openly because they don't want anything that may jeopardize a potential nomination for them. So they will not talk now. But when you went to the Capitol building in your 44-minute address to the Republic, when you spoke and did not mention anything about harmonization, they got disappointed. Nothing defeated George Weah than harmonization. When the working class in Liberia, when the civil servants in Liberia are in your corner, you are good to go as a president. Financial circumstances that we are and the entire country had no instant solution to was what made we are unpopular with the people. Go to the investment park, go to PHP Park this evening. Both of the people who you go there, you see practicing are people who are from the working class, civil servants. Most of them, they enjoy the beauty of the park. They enjoy the beauty of the roads. Most of them live Johnsonville. They enjoy how beautiful the Johnsonville Road is. They know it has been built by Weah. Most of them who live in the Mount Barclay area, they know how beautiful that road is. They know it's been built by Weah. Most of them who live along the Rawafield Highway, they know how the Rawafield Road project is helping people in that area to ease the traffic. They know how beautiful that project is. They know all of these things. But the reason why they went against Weah was because they felt that their livelihood, their source of survivability was being threatened by reduction. In this case, harmonization. Then you went up, your speech writers. Even when you're not ready to do the thing to get people's salary back, say something about it. They felt disappointed. They felt abandoned. Look, the way you can feel when somebody do 419 with you is how those people felt yesterday. It's how they still feel at the moment. The reason why they will not say it to you in your face is because some of them still have hope that somewhere, somehow, their names will be included in the appointment list, and that's why they're not talking. But deep down, I know my Liberian people, they are disappointed. They are disappointed. Not for anything, but the fact that you did not mention a single line about harmonization. No, UP did not do anything different yet. No. They didn't do anything different. No. Come on. I mean, I'm a propagandist. I know propaganda to the letter. I know, you know, the propaganda lines that will sell in a particular propaganda warfare. I know how that salary harmonization dealt with the Weah's administration. I know how many times Samuel Toye had to explain from start to end. Toye will explain here, there. Toye got tired. In Nigeria, they say you go to talk tired. No evidence. Yeah, you go to explain tired, no evidence. Toye talk in this country. Samuel Toye will talk. Go ELBC talk. Go OKFN talk. In King to the same radio station talk. Toye talk. The Unity Party, the opposition committee at the time, took that harmonization to their hearts. They made it their trump card. Mr. Bwaka, if you were to ask anybody what led you to the presidency, you roll on the flight of harmonization. Your airplane to the presidency was air harmonization. Air harmonization 231. That's what took you to the presidency. Now, for you to have gone to the Liberian people on yesterday and not said a word about it, for me, they are disappointed. I'm not disappointed because I know that the conditions that exist in Liberia today, and even under the WIA's era, are conditions that cannot accommodate that salary that we are inherited. And so for any government in the post-Ellen Johnson Sirleaf era to continue to survive, it was imperative that harmonization take place. That is what we knew from informed financial opinions. That's what we knew, except we do more in expanding our revenue generating base, except we do more in expanding the infrastructural sector with focus on roads, focus on energy, focus on water, except we do more improvement in security. We were not close to taking the salary back to the Ellis era because the conditions that exist in the country are not conditions that can support the pre-harmonization. We knew this. For us, we knew. And so even how we are got in a second term, he wouldn't have taken the salary back to pre-harmonization because the indicators are just not available. Mr. Parker, to take the salary to pre-harmonization, it has to take miracle from heaven. The indications are just so terrible. Liberia is no longer a hotspot for international focus. What do I mean? The country is not fighting war. We are not Ukraine. We are not Palestine. We are not Israel. We are not Syria. We are not Congo. We are not Mali. We've gone through several transitional periods. UN left from here. We no longer have the resource hub that will support us. We've marketed all of our concessions. We are no longer signing new concession deals. And so we knew that it would be extremely difficult for any government in the post-Ellen Johnson Sirleaf era to continue with the salary structure that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf established. We knew that. But in the midst of these glaring facts backed by financial records, we still had people who made it their duty to ride on the gullibility of the Liberian people by telling them that the harmonization was crazy, it was diabolical, it was inappropriate, it was a clever attempt by the WIA's administration to suffer the purchasing power of ordinary civil servants. You flogged WIA at the ballot box. You beat him. You defeated him. You whipped him. WIA was dragged. Oh, yes, you did all you could. You replaced WIA with Mr. Bouaka. Bouaka goes to the capital. He's giving his agenda for the first year, how he intends to run the country. He talks about drug tests. He talks about establishing, the cultural, national cultural heritage, tourism, authority. In the midst of it all, he talks about training 10,000 young Liberians in technology and so forth. At the end of the day, the airplane that brought him to the mansion, he didn't talk about it. He didn't say any war. The reason why he didn't say anything because by the time he got to the presidency, Boima Kamara and the rest of the financial people around Mr. Bouaka had already told him that Pape, all that thing we're talking during the campaign, we're only saying it because we're not to win. But the truth of the matter is, even if we were going to be the ones in the shoes of Samuel Twain and George Weah, we wouldn't have done anything with that harmonization because it is a reality we got to face as a country because of our current financial circumstances. He just got to know. They just got to realize the reality has set in, and so an attempt to want to make that policy statement to say we'll take about a pre-harmonization status, it will mean the end of the administration from a financial standpoint, and that could lead the country into financial crisis. That is not what Mr. Bouaka intends to do. And so he would dodge it. My concern is, why are they dodging it? Why are they not talking about it? There are people who could literally insult you in this country. They will cost your parents, cost everything about you. Because you were associated with George Weah and his administration. Now, the reason why they were costing, because for them, they felt that you've reduced their purchasing power unjustifiably. Now, the man in whom they thought would resuscitate their purchasing power is not telling them anything. So I mean, whether you in blue t-shirt or you in green t-shirt, the sin salary will flow this January. It will flow February. The sin salary will flow March. The budget will soon be passed. Between now to the end of February, the budget will be passed. We should have got it done with the 1/12 of the budget. What that means is that for the entire 2024, your salary not going no back up. See, in simple library English, it's not going no back up to where it used to be. I am hoping that this administration of Mr. Bwaka will succeed. But for the administration to succeed, and the reason why I'm hoping is because when the administration succeeds, the country will get better. When the country is better, it will be better for everybody. But while we anticipate that to happen, what is of great essence, what is of great importance is for all of us to be reminded by the deceptive posture that people normally wear during political eras. It's about time our politicians be truthful about the policy issues. When you see the reality and you hide behind rhetoric and propaganda, when you see the facts and you allow the people's gullibility to be exploited for your personal political gains, it has consequences on your leadership. Now, do you know what the Bwaka's administration will go through? You will go through a lot of embarrassment because the civil servants will not shut up. For them, they are untouchable. You can sack civil servant. You change the man's salary, you say paying the same money. They will still grumble because they were told by you that you will make it better for them. And the way they anticipate that to happen is for you to take their pay back because you told them, say, we had no reason to do it. The country was okay, everything was better. We are just wicked and why you cut their pay. So since you are not wicked, since you are the angel, since you are the one who is better off, they replace we are with you. So they do not expect anything of an excuse from you. For them, they've already sent a message to America that we are not managing our expectation because how you told us that this thing is the real thing. Some of us wouldn't have voted the way we did. We voted because some of us felt that John we are people just deliberately thought to reduce our pay for nothing. That's why we voted the way we did. Had we known the real financial implications and the financial situation on the ground, we would have had a different thought in the way we do things. So since you told that you have the solutions, we are not going to manage any expectation. We are disappointed that our issue, the issue that brought the government to power, was never a part of the agenda. For them, they are dissatisfied. For them, they think they were deceived. For them, they think the speech writers made a mistake. For them, they anticipate that the government will say something about harmonization. Because that is the most pressing issue amongst the Liberian electorates. We'll take a break. We will take a break. When we come back, okay, we'll take a break. When we come back, we take a few calls here on 87.9. Let's take a break. To be right back.
No medication in the hospital. No new employment. We have a you get 100%. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We get you 0%. We have another vote. No medication in the hospital. We have another vote. No
The people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stop, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stop, keeping us safe, let's stop it for all.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self-Omen, Omen Sam Science.
For all, Crime Stop, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stop, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stop, keeping us safe, let's stop in crime for all.
Okay, all right. So welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the program, Freedom Hub on 87.9. Omen Samson is the only sponsor of this platform, and trust me, Montserrat got to wash up in 2029. I'm just saying it. Montserrat got to wash up for 2029. Montserrat County got to wash up for 2029. Omen Samson is the Chief Executive Director of Crime Stoppers Liberia. The numbers to call are the same. Join us on 086 500 104 0776 104 104. Are the numbers to join the conversation on 87.9. Let's go over to the first line of callers here on the radio. What's your name? Where do you join us from, sir? Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
My name is Dempster Johnson.
Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you very much for your program.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy your analysis. But one thing I want to say is that on yesterday, the president did not say anything about the extractive industry who had mining companies. You know, he didn't say anything about them. So where are we heading? I mean, that's my question.
Okay, thank you. The presidential press secretary, Kula Fofana, is listening. If she's not, there are some stooges in one corner who will translate. This person, go ahead, 1 minute.
Good afternoon, President Khan.
Quickly, my brother, go ahead. No time, bro.
My name is Isaac Wuzin, prefers to be called son of KOK, and then I joined the conversation after the district number 14. President Khan, I will firstly want to respectfully disagree with you when it comes to the issue of you saying that President Bouaka was in error due to his speech piece when it comes to the border issue. You know, when the last press conference with Honorable Yaja Koluba, when he said that these people want to add like a BM to the Liberian people. I think some of us who followed that press conference, we all came across these lines with Honorable Yaja Koluba. These are things that Honorable Yaja Koluba saw as far ahead of him when he said that these people trying to be a BM, and we know these people, they all come to power on the BM of lying to the Liberian people on this issue of pay. Is it seeing BNP on the news on the Liberian people of taking the money that the former president left in the budget of this country, maybe to take it to Wasonga or to take it to Sierra Leone and develop some of his property he has there. But all we saw in Bouaka, our former president has there, he stay alive, his final minister stay alive, some of his economists and financial people stay alive in this country.
Thank you.
So anything is going to do error, we are going to call them back to the platform and discuss this issue. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you. We'll take this other person. Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you. 1 minute.
Thank you, KOK. This is Melinson from New Jersey.
Medicine from New Jersey. Go ahead.
You know, when you are too much a lie teller, you tell lies. Every day you open your mouth, you lie. One fine day, you can be caught up in your own lies. Joseph Bouaka and the Unity Party ran on lies. They lied to our people, they misled our people, and our people bought them. And they will soon be caught up in their own lies that they told. They ran campaign on salary harmonization. That George was so wicked, the government was wicked, they call it post salary. And they know, they from the Unity Party, they know where that harmonization recommendation came from the IMF and the World Bank. Even the outgoing World Bank country director, the man that was in Liberia that just left, before he could leave, a press conference, he mentioned everything, that this was imperative, it was worth it for the country. He congratulated the government for doing so for the betterment of the country. But to our people who voted on lies, they just got disappointed yesterday when Joseph Boakai could not mention to them in the annual speech that he's going to restore their money.
Okay.
So they will soon be the one protesting against Joseph Boakai.
Thank you. We'll leave you right there. Thank you. We'll leave you right there. Let's take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Oliver, this is Frederick Tenisi from New York.
New York. Go ahead, Frederick.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. I follow you, and I'm happy that you play even the audio from the civil servants. You know, President, history will continue to remember him. President Weah had a hard job to do when he took over, and our how do you call it, payment system was so hard like that, and he had to take that decision that even Ellen, the IMF proposed that decision, and she couldn't do it. But President Weah did that just to help the Liberian people. And today, some of them are even thinking their salary, I can tell you, okay, we're not even tempered with. Some of them are thinking maybe if they're making 200, they just remain to 200. But look at the national issue. What was President Weah doing? Building roads, building community roads, building this. And these people, they went against President Weah because of, maybe even on a $20, $25, they were going to add on your money. But you did not consider the entire country. Those of us or those of our people that are now working, you did not consider them. You only consider yourself. President Weah played soccer where even playing for Liberia Lunsa, where the country could not pay him. He sacrificed himself, but you people could not do this. It's a shame on you people. And Joseph Boakai, even if he doesn't want to, he should even further reduce his say. Because it's complete stupidity and ignorance that cause some of you. Some of you are not tempered with. There are only the major people like senators and government officials like ministers that were really tempered with.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Frederick Tinisi from the U.S. Let's take this other person. Where do you join us from, sir? Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Shelton from Connecticut, the USA.
Shelton from the USA.
Why I try to make the why I try to make the old man look like he's innocent? The old man, it was intentional when the old man announced that the previous government left 20,000 in the consolidated account. It was intentional.
20 million.
Because
25 million.
Because 20.5, not 25, 20.5 million.
Yeah, 20.5. That's what he said.
So yeah, it was intentional because President Weah gave a speech almost 2 weeks ago announcing this thing. This man had a turnover note. His handlers read the turnover note to him if he didn't read it himself. He saw the information. If he wanted to verify it, if he didn't verify it, he wanted to be honest. Maybe he say he didn't verify it. He understand, will be honest, but he will send his people to the central bank to verify the amount that was in the account. He didn't do that. He got on national stage where international people sitting down and make the former president to look like he's a liar. And then you guys want to polish him like that, or maybe that the people that told you, nobody told you. The old man is like that.
I mean, apparently that's the briefing he received. A president is not all knowing.
But the thing is on paper. The thing is in black and white.
Okay,
it's in black. That's a turnover note, And this is the thing that the hypocrisy they play on the former regime that brought them to where we are today, because they lied deliberately over and again. When the president said we have a brick economy, they ran with lies. They ran with $16 billion got missing. They ran with all kinds of lies, and because the government did not have the capacity to debunk what they were saying very early, it affected President Weah government, and they were, and that's the same thing they're trying to do today.
Okay.
So just say it for what it is. He told a big lie. He should go and say, it was a mistake, and let him come and apologize to the Liberian people, because that was a bold-faced lie. His first speech he gave to the nation.
Okay.
That's sad, man.
Thank you very much from the US. We leave you right there. From the United States, let's take more callers from Liberia. This time around, this person, go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, good afternoon, KOK.
Good afternoon, my dear. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Michelle Blambo. I'm calling from Fish Market.
Fish Market, Michelle, go ahead. Let's hear you, Chief.
Yeah, KOK, I have the issue unfolding. You see, our elected president, they don't do well for us. We were expecting so many things for his speech. Like, for example, we're expecting to speak on the education sector, to speak on the salary of the civil servant, the increasement. These are things that people voted in this government, and we do not get anything pertaining to the government. So I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated within this government. There is no sign the government is showing that will be a successful government in our country.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. We'll take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
This is Chris Neiman calling from Samuel Louis Johnsonville.
Go ahead, my brother. Let's hear you.
Yeah, we told those people from the beginning and they didn't listen. I would myself, I'm a nurse. I used to be at a facility and I see my friend nurses then pushing politics in the hospital instead of us telling to patients. When you carry a patient, they will say, do medicine and I just want to put that or they kind of president. So we want to see, then they put it man yet. What for now, the medicine will be in the hospital. That's the time that's all about the school because who are you for president? We are doing it for the other people are just getting. Who will see them will be at the facility? Why the story that will be given to the patient? So thank you.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Let's leave you and take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Kai. Let me say a pleasant good evening to you. Good evening to your followers and listeners.
Go ahead, my dear brother.
This is Hussein Kewu, and I phone in from around the Jacobtown District 2.
Go ahead, Hussein.
So thank you very much, Kai, the critique of the president's speech on yesterday. But I think this is one of the funnest, if not the funnest, or the most serious speech I've ever heard from the president of our country.
Okay.
And one thing I will say to you, President Barack now spoke on every other thing you think about. You talk about the war chronicle. The issue of war chronicle was mentioned at the inauguration ceremony. He spoke about it in front of international guests. And I think that was the most appropriate area to talk about war chronicle.
No. Hello. You don't want to keep our people in such a situation. The State of the Nation address is the constitutional platform where every policy of the president is given to the Liberian people because that's where they have their direct representation.
The both events were constitutional. We have to set the record straight. The both events were constitutional.
I agree.
Now, the president spoke, according to the audience. Now, nobody should be saying that President.
So the lawmakers were not the appropriate audience to have received anything about harmonization.
I'm saying that it was appropriate because
no, but Hussein, these are the lawmakers. These are the lawmakers who even crafted the bill that saw the harmonization being instituted. So if they could not be the best people to sell that idea to, who then do you think who could have been the best people to do so?
Fine. Since I said that was the best and appropriate era, not kind. At the inauguration ceremony, you have both legislature, you have representative represented by the speaker and that of the Senate Pro Tem. Now, both houses were represented. More of it, you have our international partner who should be supporting the issue of war chronicle. Will also see that kind. You understand what I mean? So from that point, I think that was excellent on his part. Now moving forward,
what about the harmonization? Harmonization was never mentioned on the inauguration. It was also not mentioned on the State of the Nation address.
So I love something like you said in your intro. You said the former President Barack was speaking, out of those things inherited from the past government. Yes, of course, I do agree with you 100%. Now, President Barack is going to have his own agenda. He's going to have his own policies.
But it was the very agenda that he was at the legislature to throw light on. So if he has a terrible perception about what the harmonization is to the Liberian people, don't you think that environment would have been prudent for the president to let his view out?
So fine. I love the suggestion, but now, these things are not an event. It's a process.
Do you know what role do you know what role harmonization play in the election of Mr. Boyka? Do you know that?
The issue of harmonization, this is something that is key to Ambassador Boyka. You understand? Now, let me say this to you guys.
If it is key, why didn't it make the first 5 of a priority to the president? If it is this key to him.
Now, guys, this is what I'm saying to you. This is not an event. It is a whole process.
Okay.
Now, Ambassador Boyka is still appointing ministers. Let's take, for example, the Ministry of Finance. He just appointed ministers and deputy ministers there, and you need assistant minister as well. So I thought that we have given him the benefit of the doubt, a chance to see all of those ministers, then see that now we start a new case.
But Hussein, do you know that by the time those ministers are done with all of their confirmation, the current budget would have been dealt with? If not, it will already been in progress.
Yeah. So while it is true that it will be in process, you can still have some amendment. You understand? You can still have some amendment.
So playing the devil's advocate and attempting to want to listen to what you're saying and give it some consideration. Don't you think if Mr. Boyka had in mind a decision to want to amend whatever that was done inappropriately according to them by Mr. Weah, don't you think it would have been appropriate that he just gave a tips? A little tip of what he intends to do. Don't you think it'll be okay? I'm here to have my Minister of Finance, but the harmonization as was introduced by Mr. Weah is not appropriate, and I think my government will, in the coming months, start to look around it. Don't you think that would have pacified the anger of the already aggrieved civil servants?
So I do agree in that light. But what I want to say is that the president will have a whole lot of things to do now. Some of those things will not be said, on the radio or on this kind of platform.
Okay.
These are information that will be written and given to the Liberian people to analyze and see.
No. So those ones are not meant for the radio. They are not meant for anybody.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying.
Okay.
But I think in other form and manner, it can be in that form, in that particular direction.
Thank you very much.
What I'm saying to emphasize the intent second. So what I'm saying to you, we should give the president the benefit of the doubt. Let us speak in the highway. You understand?
Okay.
But I do believe that he will make a very good presidency. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's what we all hope for Mr. Boyka to make a very good president, because that is the only thing that will keep Liberia on the right trajectory. Anything short of that, we'll be here to provide the alternative opinions. Let's take this other person. Go ahead, 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, KOK.
Good evening, quickly, no time.
Okay, my name is Prince Godson Julie II, and I join you in the of Nikutan.
Go ahead, Prince.
The topic on discussion. I find it so frustrating and disheartening to hear his honorable president saying that the budget that Mr. Former President announced is a lie. At times, I'm not going to speak to this, but justice will be served by the House of Senate and the House of Rep. But let me come to the issue of Civil 7. Ambassador Boyka was given the power on the basis of harmonization of the head practitioners, the civil servant workers in this country saying that we are harmonizing the salary. Well, here is it now. So it means that Ambassador Boyka was in favor. He was in favor with the harmonization process. But they don't use the means to rise to power. But the way in which you make a bed, that's the way you lay that on it. It's about time civil servant going to see why the salary will be increased or decreased, it will be, or it will be at that point.
Okay.
But the flags that follow you when you're having a dry meat, they don't follow you because of you. They follow you for the scent of the dry meat. And one name is a brother. If you cannot stand the heat in the kitchen, don't you never go near the food in the kitchen. Thank you so much.
We leave you right there. I don't know the interpretation of that proverb, but we leave you right there to your opinion. This person, go ahead. Let's hear you. Good evening.
Good evening, Khan. This is Confident D. How you doing, my brother?
We're doing very great. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Bring no unity party, doctors and nurses closer. Let me get in the message. They talk about drugs not being in the hospital. They stole all the drugs. The doctors, they all have clinics. The nurses, all of them have drugstore. They're the one been stealing all the drugs in the different hospital and clinics. So they should start making noise. So I want this message to reach to them until they change their behavior. Even with Joseph Boakar's self, Joseph Boakar bring all the drugs he want to bring, they will steal it. That's their habit. They steal the drugs. Every time they bring drugs in the hospital, in the clinics, they steal everything because everybody want clinics, everybody want their drugstore. What is that? So let them live on it. Thank God now that Boakar is the president of the Republic of Liberia. Everything going to be fine. Everything will be fine. Our life about to improve. Kind car will not have problem on the road. The tires, everything will be smooth for a very long time, for 6 years, because the roads, everything going to be paved. I mean, life is about to be fun for you guys. Some of us will be in and out. We will enjoy the benefit too, because I mean, Boakar now is the president of Liberia.
Okay.
Life will always be fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you. We'll take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Hi, okay. This is Kowina speaking.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I just want to say thank you to all the Liberians that voted JMB, the rescue team.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's about the time now for them to harmonize their expectation. And I heard the other guy trying to argue, justify stuff. They like when people say when you harmonize my pay, I will harmonize the vote.
Mm-hmm.
We agree.
Yeah.
Now we the Liberians, we the one agreeing now to them. But I get one thing to tell them, they get ready now to harmonize their thinking. Because the fitting not started, all of them were fin. They started finting here. Like, all I got to say.
We'll leave you right there from the United States. Let's take this question from Liberia. Go ahead. Let's hear you. 1 minute.
Good afternoon, Oliver Kine. This is Robert Bakoya calling from West District number 9.
Go ahead, Robert. Quickly. No time.
Thank you for giving the opportunity. You know, for me, the president's speech yesterday to our honorable national legislature, everything that he said over there, I just supporting everything. Because what I supported is you listen to your brother Aki where you want who sing Kewu. These are the people who don't want to see this country move forward, who want to see certain group of people in power.
You want to make your input and not dwell on Hussein. Hussein has his own opinion.
I'm making my input, but we got to correct with some of those ills that people want to bring on the show.
Conclude.
You know, people salary were harmonized yesterday. I think everything is in place. The Vera hospital, everything is all right. The Vera schools, everything is all right. And the bread and butter issue, I think everything is all right because they told us that they're going to see to it that all those things, mechanisms going to put in place for their government because we are former president, did not do it right. And now, yesterday, speaking, I heard he touched every corner of the thing he said to the Liberian people, and you're going to be happy for us. So for me, I don't have too much problem for him. For me, I enjoy what he said yesterday, what he did not say. That one, everything I enjoy it because that what people deserve, people that are causing, especially young people. Well, like for me, where I live, young people, the president was paying the wire fee right here. The causing, we saying that he did not do anything. The causing very cool that you can cause right in my yard.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll leave you right there. We take Lady Yaka. Lady Yaka, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon. Okay.
Good afternoon, Lady Yaka. Man CC. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you for the recognition. Okay, you know what happy?
No.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I know who see K. What can I K? What can I get in there?
Go ahead.
I get on the line, just talking about rubbish here. What do you want to defend? Who see K? What do you want to defend? Yeah, Mr. Corporate General for the sea and let's say indictor. What are you defending? That man ate a pizza yesterday. He went to the place. I'm talking nothing about rubbish yesterday.
No. I mean, you can refer to the president like that, man, CC.
That's your President, thank you. Lord, so that I want to tell you, I want to do my peace. That's what I want to say to you. I want to do my peace. So you can be playing artists on this radio.
Oh.
So I can go ahead now.
what,
I can go ahead now.
what kind of piece you want to do?
Just listen to it. I want to sing. I want to play in trouble.
Okay, try.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Blinya, money, blinya, say no. Blinya, money, blinya, say no. Pay la mulele, mommy, mo daro tomo. Pay la mulele, mommy, mo daro tomo. Blinya, money, blinya, say no. Neira wio, neira na daro nio. Neira wio, neira na daro nio. Pay mama, blinya, money, blinya, say no. Okay. Let's picture you myself that. If you got a boyfriend that giving you $10 or $5, appreciate him. You getting me?
I hear you.
You must appreciate that man that giving you $10 or $5. That one I come in and telling you I will give you $1,000 every day. He just coming with I know from buoyancy. When he coming with he lies and just don't eat your point move from there.
Okay.
He will not say that.
All right.
So walk out to the people to tell them that you want your salary, so you have now a result. They said we have fought a good fight. He threw punches at Joe Walker. The deputy we gave her a goal. I didn't eat for almost 1 month plus. I was just crying. But I said we have went to take over power. I cried a whole day. So for that, you crying up. What the men I say this one, you not talk about harmonization people. Yeah, they go in the streets. I said we are, you not do the right thing. So they vote against him. So when we want to talk about that, they are Liberians. What will look for? What will go? Because your son on the radio, on the platform. You're talk for 10 years. Not to us. 10 years you're talk for. So what is something us? If I was saying, oh, my son, I'm going to effort. That I want Hobo Joe. What you told me on our platform that day. That money, because we're telling you the truth. And they said, okay, I'm not to give pay our home pay. Our debt woman today, they feeding the tree. They did not pray. They start crying. So what now? Enjoy yourself. So that's why my plan for employment do it. Let be your teacher today.
Okay. We leave you right there. Later, Yaka, we leave you. We take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Hello. Oh my God, we missed out on this person. Let's take this other one quickly. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Good evening, Con.
Good evening, Chief. Let's hear you.
William Jadi Wuru, remember?
Go ahead, William.
Can you with the public administration? The poor person they say I got a monitoring and evaluation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. That is when I so educated as I said, money job we are. And there's the president we are who is not educated and people who around him and can tell you the right truth. So you want to tell me, you put on tell me right truth in never did monitoring and evaluation, I would say no kind. Our country is running into danger. What I say is that there is corruption. You know, government people say vampire. But do you ever see a vampire walking? I have some talking to blood. This is what will happen to the country. Because we don't go nowhere yet. We are seeing. Because I know. They just want to see. They say what you write in it, they already put it in the account. What is about the news? What they say? The reading that you read from Africa, what they say. So you see that? They put no only the transition you are going on. You put 10 days and then I said they fast money. They did monitor evaluation. So I tell them, I said, maybe I answer, well, no, you can't do that to your country. So, man, the country is about to be defeated by the government. It happened before. During 4 years, 1 year, the money was coming, they were sending Americans in other countries, going after it and sending it. No one went down right yet. We saw it, 10 million for my maternity. I got, I'm not going to 8 right yet. Just like people that come in and the report. You see that? So Bagay is a white. They make Sunday at the permanent Sunday. They say going to make a stand. I go you white. They make share everywhere. If you share, I go everywhere. Start buying people watching and corruption over there. So still about to go on. And like bro, when they in prison, that's what happened to all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, William Debbie Wulu. We leave you, William Wulu. Let's take this other person. Go ahead. What's your name? Where do you join us from?
Okay. Aliyu Masale, Maryland, USA.
Aliyu from Maryland, USA. Is it New Carrollton or Baltimore?
Oh, I'm living around on Expressing Avenue.
Okay, go ahead, my dear brother.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. You see, the problem here is okay. Young men saying listen to the Liberian people, and finally we have reached there. The issue here about the civil servant, we were listening to those people when they were saying, oh, President, we are harmonize our salary, we are going to harmonize their vote. So please, President Bwaka, I want to see those people Because today you see you got almost 75 to 80% of civil servants vote in that country.
Oh, yeah?
It's because you promised them that you are going to increase their salary because President William harmonized their salary and you fought against salary harmonization. So please don't be so deceitful to those people, the civil servants. Please don't do that to them. It won't be good for you because those people will get back at you. And we pray for a better Liberia. But I really want to look in that direction. And those guys say that when you go to the hospital, they ask you, oh, and you go for CDC, okay, go outside and go buy your own medicine, you can't will treat you. Today, they are all crying for salary increasement now because the president doing an inaugural speech. We didn't get anything about salary increasement as he promised during the campaign. Yesterday, again, the first country in the world for the president to harmonize is state regulation address that Liberia with good and certain record.
Okay.
He harmonized the program yesterday. They are even mentioning the salary that he promised to increase the salary. So please, President, one time, don't let the people hope to die. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We take the last two callers and we go home. This person, go ahead. 1 minute. You are the second to the last.
Yes, sir. Hello. Yeah, this is Av Ross. I'm calling from California.
California, go
Yes,
ahead, Ross.
Yes, I don't know why people are blaming Joe Boaga. You know, because Joe Boaga did not hire anything. The man said they had opportunity and they squandered. Someone cannot confess of a failure, and then I'll be the same person as an employer to hire that particular individual. So Liberian people, they know the person that they voted for, and because everything about Joe Boaga, they knew it, and also they chose Joe Boaga over President Weah. So I mean, exactly. I mean, they have everything coming to them, because you do not expect anything different. This man have been in government for forever, and they know everything about him, and so let the country go through whatsoever that is coming to them.
Okay.
You know, I mean, we pray for the good, but when it ring on the good and the bad.
Okay.
So the good and the bad, unfortunately, they will go through whatsoever experience they have the experience for 6 years. Imagine 6 years of delay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's see if we can take the last caller. If he's unavailable. Yeah, you are the last caller. Go ahead. Quickly, you're the last person.
Hello, okay?
Go ahead, my dear brother. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Othello Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm listening to this political health practitioners, political health worker. I listen to them. When my mother was serving our health ministry, not that they were not doing politics, they were doing politics, but were on a cover. They never came to limelight. But in as much the health people in Liberia can come to the limelight with politics, then I can just imagine how many people kill willingly. How many people they kill in the hospital, just abandon them, and then they die because of political reasons. Because I know once they see you in with opposition t-shirt on, or they get your background and your opposition person, they're not going to give you good treatment, and at the end of the day, you die. So I would suggest to the lawmaker that if a pass a bill in our house that anybody die, you can challenge the person, your family member death. And when anybody is found culpable, doctor or found culpable, not give them rightful medicine or for neglect, let them get the full way of the law. Because God, they will all be there. So there's a need to pass that law. We have the same law in America here.
Okay.
So there's a need to pass that law there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. We leave you right there, and that will bring the curtains to a close on today's edition. Oh yeah, that will bring. Okay, so Professor Jones Dopo will take us home with this iconic Sweet Sweet Cassava Leaf. It's not for Billy Good alone. The Liberian people were given assurance. They were told that their salaries were unjustifiably harmonized. On the back of this, they were heavily, assured that the new government would do something significantly important in addressing the issue of salary harmonization. How come on day one of the president's State of the Nation, to which he was supposed to highlight most of these challenging issues, how come we didn't hear the president mention anything that has to do with the harmonization situation? Are the civil servants in limbo? Will they continue with their same pay structure for the next 6 years? What is Liberia going to look like? How are they going to rate Mr. Bwaka? Are they already missing the WIA's administration? Are they regretting their decision against the WIA's administration? Whatever the case is, Liberia as a country will never burn. I repeat, Liberia will never burn. Enjoy this piece as we wrap up from our own sitting place here to pave the way for the next announcer. Until then, my name is Kaim. Bye-bye.
Sweet kiss, how I live. Now go along. You take it from Peter today, Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama.